Hey guys, welcome to Simply Bitcoin, a channel that breaks down all the daily Bitcoin news, from Twitter to important updates to cringy fails. We have it all. Before we get started, drop us a like and don't forget to subscribe. Take it away, Phil.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? It is August 11th, 2020, and we are going to start off right away by taking a look at the Clark Moody's dashboard. I always like to start off with that, huh? So, block heights, 643,292. The price, we're looking at 11,398. Chain rewrite days, 535. So we dropped by 2 days on the chain rewrite days. And the GBTC premium actually went up slightly from yesterday. So that's, don't get me wrong, but, we're still hanging there. We did have a little bit of a dip, but we're going to talk about the price action a little bit later.
And
first,
Bitcoin,
before we get to that.
And Bitcoin keeps moving forward like clockwork. The honey badger
right.
doesn't stop.
Every 10 minutes approximately, another block is mined, and we move on, and that's it.
And
but
the daily fail.
Right. The daily fail. That's what we want to take a look at. So today's daily fail is kind of a spin from yesterday's daily fail, continuation of Andreas's tweet in a way. But Pierre Rochard today, he's not the daily fail. He's awesome. But the daily fail is ETH. So Pierre went to go and install it and ran into this where he offered to pay to have it to have the installer digitally signed, because right now if you go to install Geth or Geeth, however you want to pronounce it, you get the unknown publisher. So he kind of jokingly goes, I guess I'll have to trust the unknown publisher and pray for the best. Might have to run antivirus after this. And of course, Bitcoin, which doesn't have a foundation, doesn't have all of this centralized garbage, manages to have fucking signed installer. So, unfortunately, another failure for ETH, but not unfortunately, because
another fail.
Look, they've had the funding to fix this. This should have been something that was important to them because this is part of the user experience. And sorry, ETH, another fail on you.
Another fucking fail, man. The talent, bro.
But that's it. But this thing has been beat like a dead horse. Like we're done.
Yeah, we gotta cut up with something else other than.
Well, it's like it's been going on for like 3-4 days already. It's just been constant. Just the ETH supply bashing and everything, and everybody's just focused around this, which is weird in itself. But at the same time, we got to have some new fails. So we've done it. We know the ETH supply can't be figured out properly, consistently, and we now know that their software isn't digitally signed, which is just sad.
It is sad, but they just make such a fucking easy target, bro. It's not our fault. Okay.
I know, right?
So let's talk about the price discussion. And dude, you kind of got hit a little bit today, but honestly, Phil, I'm kind of happy, bro, because it was just going up. It was just going up.
It was
going up. So it's cool that, as long as we stay above that 10,500, I know I keep saying it like a parrot, but it's freaking true. As long as we stay up above that 10,500 level, I know we got hit a little bit. We fell out like 3% today. I know that seems like a big deal, but it's really not in the grand scheme of things. As you could see, this is just going to, and if we just back up here, you see this volatility and just grows and just becomes a line. It's crazy, but in the moment, these cliffs, these mountains seem like a big deal, but in the grand scheme of things, they become nothing. And I'm sure that this will become this very, very soon. What do you think, Phil?
Yeah, man. Anyways, look, I stacked. That's what I was saying before. I stacked today. Why not? It's when every time there's a dip like this, we move several hundred points, I'm going to stack. I can't help it,
Absolutely.
So for me, we're just still on track. To be honest, I think we might end up seeing the tens again. I think we might see the tens again, and personally, I'm totally fine with that because it's just cheaper sats on the way up.
Me too, man.
But I don't think we're going to stay there long.
Me neither. I think I'm not going to say that. This is a news show. Okay.
I know, but that's why it's totally opinion. I don't think we're going to stay there long, but none of that is quantified.
I was about to be super bullish, but I have to keep it reserved. Anyway,
right.
so let's talk about the big news for today. This was a big deal. There's a lot of buzz on Twitter, and this is a huge deal, guys.
Huge.
This is a huge deal. So MicroStrategy, it's a publicly traded company on the NASDAQ, purchased 21,400 Bitcoins for a price of 250 million, including fees and expensive. Guys, this is huge. And they're using it as to quote them, they're using it as a new capital allocation to kind of hedge against inflation. What was super bullish is that the price of MicroStrategy, their stock price actually grew by 15%. So the smart money, the traders actually thought that this was uber bullish. And I think their total market cap is 1.5 billion. Guys, if Bitcoin moons, this is a potential to triple the value of their company, right? And this is the first one. And you know, a lot of Bitcoiners have been saying that this was going to happen for years. And today was the day. Today was the day. Now, the next step would be a small country saying that they're going to take in Bitcoin as a financial reserve. And man, if this happens, I just think it's a matter of time before that happens. What do you think, Phil?
Absolutely. And I just want to add to this, okay, for people to understand the magnitude of this, okay, $250 million of Bitcoin. This is a $1.2 billion corporation. That's over 20% of their worth that they just purchased in Bitcoin. And you'll notice they didn't buy back their stock. They didn't purchase any other asset. They bought Bitcoin. So that's, with that money, that says a lot. That definitely says a lot of where they think, their best position, right? Their best allocation is. So, and now to go on to your point about the, the country, right? I mean, look, this is the first company. If we start to see another company, it's going to get really serious. And then to your point, I mean, how long do you think it's going to be before a country says it, right?
Exactly. It's just,
and then it really is game over.
It really is. And guys, they took 21,000 sats off the table. God for good.
21,000 Bitcoin.
Oh, Bitcoin. What am I saying?
Bitcoin.
Sats. Bitcoin, bro. Holy shit.
This is like entire, right?
I wish we had that much Bitcoin.
1,000 times 100 million. That's a lot of zeros. I can't do math in my head. So there you go.
So many zeros.
Calculators exist.
So many zeros. Okay, so
that's a lot of sats gone permanently.
It is. It's super bullish. So
we got.
Let's move on to the next news. This is kind of a big deal. So what are we looking at? We're looking at basically Casa sent me an email this morning, and it was telling everybody to upgrade their ledgers to a minimum of the 1.60 firmware. So if you have a ledger and you use Casa, update your ledger or else you won't be able to transact with the Casa API. And most importantly, what is this new ledger firmware? This new ledger firmware is patching the old firmware vulnerability where, if you had another Bitcoin shit app like Bitcoin Gold or Bitcoin Cash, now you can't sign from those apps within the ledger device with the new firmware. So make sure to update your new firmware. And that's all the news for today. Phil, why don't you tell us about your podcast?
Well, this week I've got fellow Bitcoiner and Taco Carnivore Bitcoin plebe, Jimbo. And there's actually a lot of people that have been asking me about this because, people see Jimbo's tweets and he's a pretty well-spoken guy. So I hope you guys like it. It's going to be on the Fun with Bitcoin podcast. Check it out.
Awesome. Super excited, man.
All right. Well, I guess it's that time in the show, huh? Look, guys, again, don't forget to like and subscribe. Tune in tomorrow if you want simply Bitcoin and no shit coins.